When it comes to playing the Astros, and yes, it's been time since 2017, but is it something that, is that World Series something that's still top of mind for you when you see this team?
Not at all. I think that certainly, there's been some history with our organizations, but if you look at it in reality, most of those guys are gone. So I don't think that it certainly doesn't have any bearing on this series this weekend. But it's a good ball club over there. We're trying to win.
With Ben today, what are you hoping to see from him? Because I know he was sick in his last one, but for him to get going and to have the actual start today.
I think for Ben, he's back to feeling normal. What I'm looking for is just to get back to the crispness that he had, before the last few outings. I think that the fastball command, the cutter, the sweeper has just not been as crisp as it was early. And so certainly, we're extending them out a little bit longer, stretching them out. But getting back to being efficient, getting quick outs, and it's not going to be a pitch count thing, and just kind of give us some length today.
Last year, when Muncy went out with the rib injury, your replacements at third base did not produce offensively. It was a drag on the offense, honestly. What's the plan this year with him going to be out extended time?
The plan right now is Tommy's going to start taking some grounders at third, which he's done in the past. So sometime next week, I'll run him out there at third base against right-handed pitching to give Hae-Sung some runway at second base versus right. And then versus left, it's going to be a combo of Kike and Rojas at third base.
How much does his injury change what you guys think you might need at the deadline?
I don't think that changes much with knowing that the certainty of Max coming back at some point. And I feel that with the options we have, yes, Max is a big loss, but I feel like on the defensive side, having Tommy over there kind of matching up right versus left as far as Hae-Sung and the two right-handers that I mentioned, I think will be covered offensively. So I don't think that really will impact kind of the thinking going to the deadline.
With Kim, how important is this month going to be, especially if he gets kind of a little bit more kind of regular opportunities with the way the roster is now to kind of see what he looks like in more of a kind of everyday role?
It's going to be a good opportunity for him. I think that the more teams see any particular player, there's more preparation, scouting that goes into it. So, he's off to a good start, and call it the first 80 plate appearance, something like that. So, it'll be good to know more and get him some more experience.
Is Muncy, because of the kind of at bats he takes, a lot of pitches, works the counts and such, is he harder to replace because of that?
Yeah. The seeing pitches, the threat of a homer. Certainly, driving in runs, what he's done, and it has been shown and proven that when he's on the lineup, our offense tapers off, and so it just speaks to how valuable he is in our lineup, the threat, the at-bat quality, but in that middle part of the order, Andy's going to have to continue to do what he's been doing. Teo's going to have to, get back to being who he is as an all-star caliber player. And we're going to need that production from Conforto. And so it's been good to see Michael show some life in the last 2 weeks.
When you look out long term with Max, do you guys feel pretty confident not only he'll be back, but that you'll still get a kind of productive version out of him even as he's coming back from this injury late in the year? I
think so. It's a leg injury, knee, so it's not something that should affect the swing. I think for me, it's like the defensive part of it where you got to still stay below the ball, make sure you're moving laterally, able to do that. But I think that with the time that we have and there's nothing pressing as far as needing to rush him back, I think that we'll be in a good spot.
Is Glass not going to be ready to come back?
Yeah, Glass had a good one yesterday. We got the pitch count up, got into the fifth inning, which is great. And so we don't have a particular day yet, but to see him back online next week at some point on the road, very feasible.
No more rehab. He's done.
That's And that's kind of where we're at right now. We'll see, he's doing his first day up in OKC or Vegas or wherever it's at. But then, once we talk to him and see, then we can kind of make a more definitive answer.
With both Blakes and they're supposed to be throwing lives tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Is the hope for after this they could be starting their rehab assignments?
Yes. So Trinan will go 1 inning tomorrow. Blake Snell will throw 2. And then the thought is next Thursday, Blake Snell, if it goes well, will throw 2 innings on rehab. And then I'm not sure when Blake Trinan will be sent out.
I don't know if you remember having the 4th of July off. Baseball and America's pastime seem to go together, part of Americans' fabric. Do you have a special 4th of July memory as a player or manager?
I don't, unfortunately. I probably should have categorized it, but I do know I work on 4th of July. So yeah, no, it's great. It's a special day. I don't get the chance to barbecue and lay out by the pool or the beach. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's great. I love knowing that, people go out and do their family thing and taking a ball game, which is great.
Are you a drone show guy or a fireworks guy?
Fireworks guy.
Old school.
Old school.
Would Snell's build-up on rehab be similar to Tyler's, like getting into that 5-ish inning, maybe over 3 outings?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, once you got to be able to kind of build up in the sense of appreciating that the big league game, they matter. There's more stress. Pitch counts could get higher, so there's got to be some type of foundation. So we feel like they can kind of overcome it to still keep going. And you don't want to compromise your pen because your buildup wasn't sufficient. So it'll be similar, yeah.
For Tommy going to third, like how much of an adjustment is that? And does it just kind of add to his value that he's somebody who can slot in there in a situation like this when you need?
Yeah, it's certainly his value. The character of Tommy being willing to do whatever is asked is partly a reason why we, committed to him long term. The openness, the awareness of doing whatever the ball club needs. As far as adjustment, I don't think it's going to be much of an adjustment. I think a few days taking grounders, he should be fine.
I apologize if you already said this, but when are you hoping that he will actually be playing at third base in the game on the road trip or potentially this weekend?
Yeah, it'll be on the road trip. We've got McCullers tonight, and then we've got 2 lefties. So I would say the earliest would be Monday, would be the earliest.
How many innings will Shorter pitch tomorrow?
He'll pitch 2 innings.
2.
Any closer to Sasaki getting off the mound, or is it still too early for that?
I think it's still too early. The velocity, flat ground has really ticked up. He's kind of letting it rip where it's upper 80s, just kind of flat ground. So I do think that recovering after kind of exerting more effort and feeling good is a good sign. So I'm not sure when we get him on the mound, but it's really promising.
So far, he's kind of rid of that, whatever uncertainty or whatever it was, whatever doubts.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Obviously, when you're talking about the shoulder, young player, there's a little trepidation. So I think that we're past that, yes.
Is he now like a little ahead of where he was before he was shut down, just in terms of like the intensities growing up?
Well, he's certainly ahead of that. I just don't really know what that means until he gets off a mound, and there's still going to be, because it's been so long, there's got to be a proper build-up. So I think if you kind of look at spring training and not being off a mound, 6-7 weeks is probably the floor.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.